YouTube Live. Okay, we are live on YouTube. Hey guys, this is Dr. Nancy Lee. I help people transition from worker bee to a product manager and business leader. You are joining me live through our YouTube Live every Wednesday. And now let's do this. Whoever is joining us live right now, please make sure you introduce yourself. What's your name? Do you have any other upcoming interview? What the name of the companies? So comment on the chat regarding the interview you're trying to prepare for. At the same time, this is what I am going to do. I am going to share my screen and also do a very quick introduction regarding what we do and why I am teaching you guys for free today. Okay, so all right, quick introduction about who I am. I'm Dr. Nancy Lee. So I have helped over hundreds of product managers and helped them to land their dream product manager job offer. And actually, that's past week, we land another offer from Meta L7, which is the highest offer we have received, and that person is getting paid around $800,000 per year. All right, and in the past about like 2 years, and lots of people has gone through our program called Product Manager Accelerator and land their dream job offer in big tech companies, including FAANG companies and unicorn startup. So I'm teaching you free through YouTube Live today and continuously actually through the whole year in 2020 was because lots of people are in the process preparing for their most important interview coming up. I just want to coach you guys for free. And so therefore, it's important for you guys to really get engaged throughout the whole process and put your questions in the chat directly. Okay. Now, for people already join us, is there a Zoom link? Yes. Catherine, can you email me and then you can join the Zoom directly? And I believe my team already emailed some of you guys, but you can email me. So let me share my screen. Then I can put you up for free coaching. Okay, let me do this. Okay, so Catherine, you can directly email me at nancy.drnancylee.com. I am going to send you the Zoom link. Okay, and at the same time, for people getting ready to join Zoom, let me do a very quick introduction regarding today's topic. So today we will talk about how to land the 300 grand per year job offer in Google, Meta, all those big tech companies. And guess what? Amazon also increased their salary recently, and company-wise increase. Lots of students also landing 300 grand per year salary at Amazon as well. Okay, so I want you guys to achieve the same result. And actually, for fact, I know more than 100 people's salary. So when I say someone's salary is very high, or I know roughly how much you're getting paid, and that's how much you guys should shoot for. Okay, especially if you join Google, you should negotiate. Actually, potentially your offer will be even higher than 300. Some of them actually getting like 350 as a product manager. And as I said, every week we want to share some inspiring stories with you guys. Actually, this week and last week, actually, one of our students land Meta L7 job offer, and specifically he's getting paid around 800 grand per year. Actually, very, very exciting. But let me also tell you, how did he get started? All right, so the way he got started was that himself was a senior director at the bank, one of those banks you might have heard of. And in the past, his experience was more product operations, even if his title was senior director. But you know what? In banks in general, their title is a little bit high, a little bit inflated. His equivalent of a director in other companies, you can see that way. But because the nature of the banks, lots of time, he's more focused on, hey, let's do API integration, let's lead an engineering team to build checking account for our customers. But he actually hasn't done much customer interviews, and he has less experience regarding product strategy. But he was able to directly use our strategies, where I'm going to teach you guys today, and also through our product manager accelerator. He was able to land his dream job offer in Meta, that current getting paid at over 800 grand per year. And the most exciting thing was that very funny. So he came in and said, Nancy, I need to get a new job offer that needs to pay me at least $500,000. I was like, yes, let's make it happen. And surprisingly, he was able to more than double his current salary. Okay, so congrats to everybody who achieved their dream job offer. I want all of you guys to have the same result as well. Okay, so now let me do this. Catherine, let me send you the Zoom link. One sec. Copy invitation. All right, Catherine, I sent you the Zoom link and you can directly join us. All right, so let's continue. Now, here's some free tips for anybody who is preparing for FAANG interviews, especially Google and Meta. Please make sure you go to this website, drnancyle.com/50FAANG, to download the free 50 FAANG interview questions database. You're able to use the real life database you're able and to do mock interviews, and it's very critical. I know some of you guys are preparing for FAANG interviews, especially Meta and Google, and those interviews are very hard to crack, and usually less than 1% of them the candidate actually join on these two companies. So therefore, I want you guys to be fully prepared. So make sure you guys use the free sheet to practice your upcoming interviews. Okay, so go to this website, drnancyle.com/50FAANG. And at the same time, for people who's joined us live right now on YouTube, please directly put your questions in the chat and let me know if any other questions or any interviews you have coming up. Okay, now let's do this. And a quick reminder for anybody who is going through the process, try to land your dream job offer, and you can join our free masterclass where I'm teaching you how to land your dream product manager job offer in 60 days. So go to this website, drnancyle.com/masterclass. People also ask this question, how to get coached by me for free, and this is how to make it happen. Okay, so first of all, you can directly submit this form ahead of time. So in the description of this video, where you should directly see the form, you can submit a request so that my team will directly invite you to this call ahead of time. And of course, if you're late to the process, you can directly just email me live when we do live coaching. Okay, and now who gets selected to receive free coaching, who get priority, and those are the two type of people. First of all, are somebody who is supporting any of the nonprofit I support. Every year, actually, I do one-on-one donation matches. I every year also double my donation. So I'm a big believer of giving back. So whoever support any of the nonprofit, you will get priorities. And of course, who have more likes, comment, and shares, you will be able to join us live as well. Okay, so finally, I also want to do a quick celebration. And you guys should go to our Instagram where we celebrate lots of offer celebrations. And here I want to give you guys more inspirations regarding lots of offers coming up. I want you guys really getting prepared for your next level offers and interviews. Okay, so this is what we just had for last week. And for students in our PM Accelerator, so we already, some of students already received the 3 offers on vidIQ, like fossil and also cross rivers. And we also have student actually directly land senior PM MBA leadership program from Amazon, some other senior PM and also PM offers. So I want all of you guys to achieve the same results through free coaching as well. Okay, cool. All right. So finally, so this is the free groups. You're able to find your mock interview partners as well. Feel free to take a screenshot. All right, and then find your mock interview partners, and very cool. All right, so now let's do this. Let me directly ask Catherine to introduce yourself. All right, so Catherine, can you quickly introduce yourself?
Hi, yeah, I'm Catherine Wei. I currently work as a product manager for Zeta Global, which is an ad tech company. My background is in identity. So previously I was a product manager at TransUnion, also working on identity in the advertising context. I have an interview scheduled for, well, TBD, but either next Friday or the following week with Google for a PM role in transactions on Google search.
Very cool. Congrats. It's the first round.
Yeah, I did the HR screens, and this is the first round. Like I haven't really prepared very much. I do have a strategy consulting background, so I did do many cases back in my college days, but I know the PM interview is a bit different. So I haven't really had any serious, like structured PM Google style interviews before.
All right. I feel like you may want to push your interview a little bit further out. It's very different interview process, unless you want to dedicate the whole week, which is you take the whole week off and really learning how to do it. And I have never seen anybody just, hey, let me just kind of prepare a little bit and get an offer from Google. So I want you guys to focus on learning. Okay. And at the same time, for people who join us live on YouTube, please post your question in the chat, and also let me know if there are any other questions and or any other interviews you're having. Okay, great. So Catherine, any questions do you have regarding your upcoming Google interviews? How do you need help? What kind of help do you need?
Yeah, I think particularly on the product design strategy and technical side, I definitely have a question on how the approach is different for, let's say, a design question versus strategy question, because they are kind of similar, right? So sometimes do people just apply circles to all these types of questions, and then they kind of get reeled back and say, this is strategy, let's talk about the market, the competitors, and like, how do you decipher that difference?
Yeah, so do not apply the circles framework to the product strategy questions. It's very different. We invented our own framework in PM Accelerator. I also made a few free training that teach you guys how to use the Gucci framework. Actually, it's called Gucci framework. So let me share with you guys regarding where can you get the free training. Okay, so let's do this. Let me share my screen, and you can go here. So go to my channel, and here is, one sec, the strategy question, and the framework is here. Let me how to. Okay. Actually, it's right here. I feel defeated. Yeah, so this is the Gucci framework we invented, which is answer the product strategy interview questions, and it's very different than the circles framework. Okay, completely different. So the way we talk about the strategy questions, for example, they may ask you, should Google do something about healthcare, right? What would you do? And it is very similar, sounds very similar in terms of, hey, how would you design a product for healthcare if you're Google? But designing a product is different regarding what your ideas, what your strategy to do something in the healthcare space. Okay, so specifically the Gucci framework, where you guys should go to this video to learn how to do it. At here, just a quick overview. For example, what we had in the training regarding should Lyft enter the food delivery market? What the future of Google offices look like in the coming 10 years? Those are all strategy questions. When we talk about the Gucci framework, looks like this, which is, let me pause here. Goals and mission, unmet needs, competition, customer segmentation. I stands for integrated ecosystem. All right, so it's very different framework. So you should totally use this framework instead of circles framework. And on top of that, I also believe that the circles framework is also outdated. We teach people how to use a modified circles framework to answer questions, because the circles framework was invented like over 10 years ago and since has changed. And so you need to modify and improve those frameworks. It's not just like one framework can do everything. Okay, so study this later on your own and apply the right framework when you answer product strategy interview questions. Cool, right. Do you have any other questions regarding your upcoming Google interview?
Not this moment, no. I think it's just practice, yeah.
Okay, you mean do a mock interview?
Yeah, just mock interviews, reading, and I mean, other things. I think I just need to learn like the whole systems design and all that. Another big concern is I don't come from a comp sci background. So for me, it's a lot more catch up to get into the technical stuff. But I think I just got to spend the time and take those web courses and learn the concepts. Yeah.
Okay, great. So let's do this. Do you want to try to answer one of those product design interview questions?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah,
Okay.
I really appreciate the opportunity.
Let's do this. Let me pick one of the questions in the interview questions database. Let me do this. Hold on. All right, so let me share my screen, and then everyone else can see the type of questions we do here. Okay, so let me do this. All right, so for product design interview question, I believe what the ones we did in the past. Let's do this one. Design a grocery shopping, design a grocery store, grocery shopping experience. Let me write down here.
Yeah, and just to clarify, this is for online, right? Like online retail, or are you talking about more of a in-store and retail experience?
It's totally up to you. You are the product manager of Google. You can choose design online or in person. Totally up to you.
Yeah, I think we'll just tackle online today. Yeah, so if you give me like a little bit of time, and I want to structure some ideas and get back to you.
Yeah.
For some questions. Yeah.
Go ahead. For people who join us live on YouTube, you can directly put your like comment in the chat regarding how would you address this question. And for example, you guys can talk about the customer segmentation and pain point or specific design solutions you want to do. All right. So put your answer in the chat of the YouTube live, and then I'm going to review your answers as well.
Yeah, so firstly, I want to understand a bit about the objective of this type of experience. So for Google, is the interest, since this is a new product, I would assume you want to first start by capturing market share and growing users, and eventually moving to a more profitable model. But first, would you say a good success metric is a usage? Like
yes,
daily active users? Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So looking into the type of customers who shop online for groceries, um, I think, I guess there are different ways to segment it. One is geography. So I think for some geographies, you do, if we're restricted to the United States, so I'm just talking about US for now, you have rural versus urban. And in the rural spaces, you might only have like one good store or with large quantity of available materials within a 50-mile radius versus where I live in Chicago, I can walk to grocery stores within a 1 mile radius or less. So I think that's one consideration. Other ways to segment the types of users who want to use grocery shopping online, I think it could be related to like income levels, right? So there are certain people like high income typically might have more types of requirements around the types of brands or the quality of brands or organic groceries, perhaps groceries that are more, let's say, fresher. It could also be regional groceries that are, let's say, American versus like niche groceries. So Indian stores. H Mart is a great example for niche for Asian foods, and perhaps like other types of niche styles of groceries. And then I think about the types of groceries that are perishable versus non-perishable. So if I just want to stock up on toothpaste versus if I want to look for some fresh fruits, I think that's pretty different, and the delivery mechanism for each is very different, subject to the amount of time. So given all of these options, thinking about that, we're looking at Google customers and we're looking at targeting people who use Google, we definitely have a question first of where to focus on. I think about for getting our usage up and who's most likely to be a adopter of online grocery shopping. I think the customers are currently shopping on an Amazon or perhaps like a Peapod or Instacart. Typically, I want to think about like medium to high income. It seems to be like most of these demographics tend to be, I'd say more urban, and maybe that has to do more with the medium to high income status. Typically, the current services available are more general versus niche. So given that Google is like a mass consumer facing brand and platform, it seems to make more sense to start with the more American demographic. And I think perishable and non-perishable, I think, are very different. So given that Google doesn't have current delivery mechanisms today and probably needs to partner, depending on what type of partnerships you have, it'd be interesting to see, given the delivery times, what is more feasible, perishable versus non-perishable. So I'll take a pause here and see if there are any feedback or focus areas or follow-up questions.
I am not sure regarding your focus, because sounds like you want to focus on medium high income and non-niche, which is more American food, like perishable. So are you trying to do all of those together, everything listed, or you want to prioritize one of those?
Yeah, I'm thinking that all of these can be bundled together. I still think you could have a very big segment of the market. If you're just talking about US, medium to high income, let's just say it's 50% of the US household. So think like 150 million American consumers, and think about American foods, which is probably most of them, given that they live in the country. So I think perhaps what's more important is just to talk about the specific pain points. And here, maybe talk a little bit about what they don't get from their current grocery online shopping experiences today, and where we could deliver unique value through this solution.
Okay, so let's rewind a little bit. The reason you prioritize the segment was based on the segment has potentially the biggest customer segment, biggest user, right? Okay. Cool. So yeah, let's continue. Tell me more regarding the pain points.
Yeah, so I have been a user of Peapod, Instacart, and of course Amazon as well. And I can tell you that number one, everyone wants everything quick. Usually people in this medium high income bracket are very busy. So oftentimes it's like, oh, I need to throw a party, but I have to work today and I got to get my alcohol in place, or I got to get my candles for my birthday cake. So turnaround times are very important. Like I think Amazon has been very good at marketing a 2-hour turnaround time. So I think that's one big pain point. Additionally, it's about the variety of products that are available. So something I've noticed a lot is out of stock, especially during COVID, but anytime you send a shopper to one of these places, managing inventory is a big challenge, and having very good inventory, being Google and having this type of information integrated with some grocery provider or partner, it could be a differentiator if you can get to more accurate inventory levels at the checkout. Next, I think about the user journey. I think about a lot of people just browsing quickly and then abandoning carts. So a pain point is just, I think, comparison. So if you're looking at a lot of places to shop online, even for grocery, there are a lot of competing apps today in the marketplace. How do you keep your consumers' eyeballs on? Perhaps they have, like Amazon has one specific type of shampoo, rose flavored shampoo that is sold out and that your app has, and that's what draws the consumer to your app. At the same time, you might not be able to, let's say, like offer all the things that you want to the consumer to get them to get to the checkout and get to a sufficient dollar amount that makes sense from a profitability standpoint to check out. So being able to offer the variety of products that get to the profitable amount that makes sense to deliver. So yeah, I think of those pain points, we have speed to recap, we have the inventory, like the counts of not being out of stock, and we have definitely a variety, sufficient amount of items that would make sense to continue a shopping experience that's profitable.
Is this specific to the segment you selected? You selected the high income segment who likes American food.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this is unique for the segments you just selected, or it's just everybody?
I definitely think just an online grocery shopping experience is specific to that segment. So I think that if you think about all the grocery shoppers, most people grocery shop because most people need groceries. But the people who do it online, I think that's similar problems. But when you look at the technology, the problems of I need to shop quicker in store becomes how quickly can I get this delivered to my house from the moment I click checkout.
You didn't answer my question. Mm-hmm. My question is, what you said, the pain point, is this unique to the segment you selected, which is high income segment?
I think that it is universal. These are universal problems, except for perhaps if you look at the ultra high income, perhaps the last one where you have the dollar amount of profitability. If you're ultra high income and you need to get something very quickly, perhaps you're not as sensitive to the price and to basket, and you're willing to pay a premium. So perhaps there's a little flexibility there for the dollar amount of the basket and the cost. Yeah.
All right. So among all the pain point, keep going. So which one do you think you're going to design solution for?
Yeah, I think that given the vision of Google is to be the data information company for consumers, to enable a very convenient, better decisioning for consumer experiences, I want to really tackle what I think we can solve well, which is an inventory problem. So I think that going forward, if we have better inventory control and for a grocery shopping experience, especially across multiple suppliers. So think Walgreens, think here in Chicago, we have Mariano's, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, and coordinating that experience of the inventory across all of these grocery partners, we can help as a secondary effect also get to the issues of scale, issue of being profitable, because you could compile information across all these sites that stand alone might not be enough for the consumer to press checkout, but for your consumer on Google is enough scale and variety to look at.
That's your only solution?
No, so that's one option. So when I talk about inventory, one option is to partner with the retailers, right? Like the Trader Joe's of the world. I think another solution for the shopping experience, shopping app, is to perhaps create your own. This is like the buy, build, partner model. And for build, it's really going head to head with like an Amazon and say like they built their own kind of 2-hour shipping, and in many cases they do produce their own groceries, right? They have their own in-house labeled, let's say, toothpaste, and I buy their own cotton browns. So that's another approach. However, because Amazon started as a retail solutioner and they have a lot of manufacturing expertise, I don't recommend that route as well. I know that Google does manufacture, let's say, some hardware type devices and like a Google Glass, but I don't really think of it as a manufacturer. I think if we look at, besides inventory, direct to consumer, we talked about that. Like, I think you could also think about groceries for small business. I can think of a lot of events that could also use this type of grocery shopping experience, especially for weddings or quinceañeras, engagement parties, like big birthday bashes. So think of it more as less of a direct to consumer facing online site, but more of like a business to business site.
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you're trying to design solution to address the inventory challenges.
Mm-hmm.
Now you say, hey, for event, we can use this online shopping experience. How is related to the problem you're trying to solve?
Yeah, so you asked for other solutions, and I apologize. Probably I should just go back and talk about inventory. I think I misunderstood you. But if you really want to just focus on inventory problems, yeah, so we talked a bit about the creating your own inventory, managing your own inventory. We talked about the partnerships. Let's talk a bit about acquisition. So think Amazon purchasing Whole Foods. What about some local grocery chains that that Google can purchase and also manage, like that Whole Foods / Amazon model? I also think about, there's the delivery of it, right? So you have the user interface, you have traditionally mobile, and you have the web. So thinking of mobile versus web wise, like mobile, you could have a lot of convenient features. The point, I think Google Lens already does this in creating some type of integrations. For Google Lens, you have a camera, you can point at items that you need or want, and then find similar items like, hey, I'm out of peanut butter, or I want to get more Skippies, low sodium peanut butter, take pictures, Skippies, all right, add to my shopping list. I think that's great for mobile. Maps could be really great integration where you can look at how your delivery is tracking, how quickly it's going to arrive. I think like the Uber Eats model where you can see where your driver is tracking. And I think for web, you can have similar features as well, but perhaps it's just like an easier browsing experience where you can actually look at more products on one glance versus scrolling through the screen. But I think of having similar interfaces, similar layouts so that it's easily translatable for the user to go between web and mobile.
so that you're able to address the inventory challenges?
Yeah, good point. So the inventory challenges, I think, have to do more with the back end, right? The back end where you need to really have a good integration between the different systems of, if you're doing the whole acquisition model, you need to be able to be the system of inventory for that specific supplier. So if it's Trader Joe's, having real-time data streaming updates, perhaps adopting some like wide column type databases, where you have more like a pull where you can tell right immediately when something's out of stock, and managing inventory ASAP so that you have orders lined up as soon as an item's out of stock. So for example, you run out of Skippies at the Trader Joe's you bought in Google. Well, right away you need to re-trigger the ordering, or even better, have alerting systems that tell you, hey, we're at only 10% capacity now. And typically in history, 10% capacity means we're going to be out in 24 hours. It's time to reorder. So having those backend systems in place, and predicting consumer trends of how they purchase. So if you can see that during quarantine, toilet paper sales are going through the roof. Oh, toilet paper sales are increasing at a rate of 159%. You can predict that your toilet paper will be out of stock earlier than sooner, and make sure you refresh inventory that way.
Okay, so you mentioned several ideas, but there's another idea which I don't think is relevant. So you said we can scan something to use mobile, and they don't send it over to the web saying, hey, this is out of stock. And are you trying to design in person or online? If it's in person, you scan it. Online, you do it on, you don't scan it. So I'm confused.
My personal grocery experience is that I am a very busy person, so often I don't know exactly what I need when I go to stores. So what I like to do is I like to add to my list throughout my week. So I think, hey, oh, this is my last jar of peanut butter. What I do today is I talk to my Amazon device and say, hey, can I add peanut butter to my shopping list? So when I'm in the store, I'm looking it up. But now if I have my phone on me always, I'm texting my phone. Oh, I see I'm last jar.
But I saw at the very beginning yourself only want to design for online experience. Now you're designing for in-person experience.
Well, I don't think of that as an on in-person experience. Adding things to a shopping list on your online app can actually help with the online integration in a more easier way. So I'm not buying these items. So typically, I think most people buy groceries as subscriptions or repeats. So I like one brand of peanut butter, I like one brand of bread, I like one brand of detergent. So just snapping these pictures of items I have that I'm running low on, I think can help with the streamlined process of remembering what to buy, or automatically adding things to my shopping cart that I check out and accumulate at the end of the week. Does that help?
Cool. Yeah. So among all the solutions, which one would you prioritize?
Yeah.
So engineering teams to build.
Build
everything at the same time, right? We need to prioritization. Right. Which one would you do first?
Yeah. So I think there are a lot of trade-offs to the buy, build, partner model. Thinking about speed to market, given that there's a heated competition in the space already with the Amazon Whole Foods integration, being a little faster, I think it makes more sense to have a partnership or an acquisition for the inventory management piece. So I would recommend, given that Google is very strong in certain aspects, like a sort of joint venture where you bring to the table your software for supply chain, and you work with a chain of perhaps small retailers by themselves. They might not have enough scale. Think like a local Mariano's at Chicago, and be able to manage inventory across all of these retail chains. That would allow you to leverage your special expertise when it comes to supply without too much redundancies of having to hire all their staff and pay for all their IT systems. while achieving quick speed. In terms of the specific design of the product, having an app, I think, would be most important because for busy people, high income people in urban areas, and given that these users currently are accustomed to the Amazon experience and Instacart experience, I think it's very important that they have the convenience of being able to buy things on the fly in their very busy lifestyle on a mobile app.
Can you tell me why you prioritize that solution?
Yeah, why did I prioritize the mobile app over web? Because I think web is...
No, you said your number one solution is let's do merge acquisition, right?
Yeah.
And then you say, hey, let's do the whatever mobile app, whatever thing you talked about. Okay. So sounds like the first one is priority and the second one is a second to the best. So my question is why you prioritize the first one? And you said, yeah, I prioritize the second one. You see what happened?
So I think, let me try to explain myself better. There is a back end to the solution and a front end, right? So the back end of the solution is to work on inventory, supply chains, managing delivery times, managing when things need to be replenished, when things are in stock, delivery schedules. That is the whole JV situation where you are partnering with these grocers, but implementing your own software for the groceries. So leveraging their existing supplier relationships with your software. In the front end, I think it should be the mobile app because that's the most convenient way that people purchase versus via a traditional desktop website.
Okay, cool. Let me do this. We are going to provide feedback soon. So for people who join us live on YouTube, if it was you, so put in the chat regarding which customer segmentation would you prioritize and which solutions would you provide and which solution would you prioritize as well. Okay, so comment on the chat for people who join us live on YouTube. I see some of you guys already submitted, so keep on submitting. And at the same time, let me provide some feedback, Catherine. There is, so first of all, it's great. You have many ideas, but I don't think your ideas has enough customer empathy. You are throwing down ideas that's available for everybody. That's not specific to the prioritized customer segmentation you're looking for. You said you prioritize the high income earners, right? And then sounds like your prioritization framework is let's focus on income level, high, low, high, median, and low. So you want to prioritize like high, right? And then your ideas regarding their pain point, I just don't hear that way regarding, hey, people with high income level, they really need this because our inventory will also be available for low and medium. I don't see regarding how you segment your customers with customer empathy. If try this, go interview with Google and Meta, the feedback to you is for sure they will say no customer empathy, 200%. Because let me give you specific examples, right? And for people who go grocery shopping, I recently become a mom. So as a mom, you go grocery shopping, you need to like get for the whole family. So my pain point is very different than single young man working for Meta, who is high income, but single young man, right? So the pain point is completely different. And what else? Oh, another extreme example. Let's say when you were pregnant, because I assume you have family or sometime in the future, you will go through the process, right? So if you're pregnant, there's certain things you want to select. You cannot eat certain things, right? So the grocery shopping experience for the pregnant woman is very different compared with older people or just normal people, let's buy some food, right? So that's where the customer empathy coming in. It's okay to say, hey, I want to segment my customer for high income, low income, medium income, but the pain point you provide for high income should be, when you heard it, oh yeah, that's high income pain point. Make sense? Not something, I have some ideas. I feel like you came in, you just say your idea. You're talking about yourself the whole time. You're not talking about the customers you have empathy for. Right? So I felt that way. So everything you said, it just it's just like a repeat of what other people are saying. Hey, I want like inventory of some out of stock, or like faster. Sometimes I want some niche like a favor because we are Asian. I think you're talking about yourself. You have so much empathy for yourself. You don't have empathy for the segment you have selected. I felt that the whole time. Okay. And now second part is when you prioritize those customer segmentation, you need to show more examples besides the larger size. And you also can talk about the impact to customers and also the urgency of solving the problems for certain customer segmentation. Let me show you a free training, and you should check it out there. One sec. Let me let me show you my screen. Okay, so we have free training here. Where is my training? Okay, so in this training, where we talk about the prioritization of different segmentation, so basically this video is talking about sample example how to design Uber app for people with disabilities, and then you segment them. Where is the segmentation? I believe user segmentation. Hold on a sec. I talk about segmentation, and then the specific examples. Where do I talk about? Then you need to talk about which one you should prioritize. And on top of that, sounds like you're talking about two things. One thing is, for example, for the Uber app, right? For people with disabilities, the riders and drivers. I feel like you're designing for both people shopping there and also the operations, right? So if you design for both, which is fine because they're connected, right? Then you should call it out saying, hey, there's people who runs operations, the store itself. There's also people going in for grocery shopping. Now for this, I'm going to design for both of them. If you design for both of them, it's okay. You just need to say it. But in general, it's more about empathy. It's more about empathy. You're just throwing down some ideas. And now the pain point, for example, different kind of pain point, I list here. And I think, as I said, you need to come up with pain point that are very unique to high income people. So you should think about harder. And now the second part is when you design solutions for those pain points, I feel like you are all over the place in terms of sometimes you want to talk about the inventory issue, and then sometimes you go front end to design an app, sometimes you go back end, and when you design a solution, you want to design for both front end and back end, which is okay, but you're not very clear in terms of your presentation, you know. So and then usually if you go for Google interview, they were looking for 3 solutions for one pain point. First of all, you need to prioritize your pain point, which one you want to address, which is you prioritize in terms of low inventory, which is fine. Now you should come up with 3 solutions. I don't hear 3 solutions. I have a huge solution that has front end and back end. It's one solution. That's what I heard. Usually when you go through those interviews, you need to come out with 3 solutions, and one of the solutions need to be moonshot solution for Google. or there's no way you're able to join Google. Google definitely is looking for moonshot ideas. One of those solutions need to be very moonshot. And however, you may not prioritize moonshot ideas, which is totally okay, but you need to think big when you go interview with these companies. Okay. Cool. And let me see what other people has better ideas. We watch. We regret to like to more like drop down speedy delivery. So let's see what other people talk about. In terms of the pain point. All right, so I'm going to share my screen again and copy paste the other people's answers. Catherine, do you have any other questions based on what I just said before we review other people's submitted questions, submitted answers?
Yeah, so perhaps when I look at other people's answers, this will clarify things for you. But trying to give 3 different solutions. So for the inventory pain point, I'd be interested in your idea. Like, would you have just focused only on the back end side, only on the operations side? Because it's kind of, when I think of product design, typically for Google, they're typically looking for more consumer facing design. So that's where it got a little tripped up. How would you approach it if you were the one trying to dig into the inventory 3 solutions?
So I wouldn't do front end. If inventory is not front end solution, is I think the problem with lots of people going to do product sense interview was, again, they lack customer empathy. And again, they think about themselves. Everything you think about is from your perspective. Everything you see Google is all software, right? But if you work inside of Google, you will understand we have lots of students actually inside of Google. They're working on backend. They're doing some kind of AI stuff, maybe some kind of cloud stuff, B2B sales, or like a Google X also have many kind of moonshot ideas, doing another thing also called Project Loom. So some of the solutions may not need an UI. For example, Google Glass, of course, it failed years ago, right? So it's not a UI, it's more, hey, how can I do something really cool? So it can display something in front of my eyes, but of course it failed. But in order to create the best product, as a product manager, we shouldn't just be, oh, my CEO, my company built lots of UI. Let me design something with UI so that they will like me. No, very wrong. Best product manager go in to design the best product that solves the pain points and needs for the customers. Whatever solution it is, could be, I don't know, manual, I made it up. I don't think will be selected. Manual process of having people like doing like a groceries, like delivery to your home if anything is out of stock. That has no UI, but I'm just going to deliver to you, right? Or you do any kind of like brainwave. So MIT Media Lab have those kind of brainwave detection, right? That doesn't even have UI. What if I do brainwave detection? I was thinking about everything, something's missing in my fridge, detect the brainwave, and I send it over to your home. Isn't this a fantastic solution? And engineers are interested in working on, of course, maybe hard, but my point is that this solves the customer pain point. Why this solution didn't come out in your solution has to be something like UI. Again, you're thinking about yourself. If you only think about what you know, you'll never be a great product manager. Product manager really think about future strategies, which is I said earlier, we have one of our students, even his title is Senior Director of Product working for banks. He was mainly working on operations. We had to train him on thinking big in terms of how can you think about product strategy, think big, have very like 10-year roadmap, 5-year roadmap, and of course, 2-year roadmap. That's the definition of great product manager. Okay. Right. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Yeah, of course, backend, brainwave, sending something to my home whenever I miss something. Yeah, fantastic solution. Well, of course, you do not prioritize, but brainwave is harder to build, but that's a very good solution. then, oh, I have to build something front end. Now, who says so? There's so many things you guys don't know because you only see the front end of Google, which is Google Doc, everything, many different things happening in the back end you guys don't know.
Thank you. Thanks for your feedback.
Okay. You guys need to change the mindset of becoming a PM. Very, very important. People need to think and behave as a PM before you even become a PM. I'm very frank with you. Because let's say you get into Google, you don't really think big, you don't think and behave like a product leader, you're getting eliminated because you're thinking very small. Let's design a UI. It's like everyone is thinking about like crazy like stuff out there. And when you present something to an executive, you're like, let me tell you the UI I designed. But someone else presents something amazing with 10-year roadmap, 5-year roadmap, 2-year roadmap. It's very different. You need to think as a PM before you become a PM. Okay. So let's do this. Let's review other people's answer. Everyone else, please comment on the chat regarding any solutions for people say very cool to learn from. Yes, yes. Hunda, whoever you're here. So put the thumbs up emoji in the chat. I am not even sure I can find it. If you find it, put it in the thumb up emoji in the chat if you find it useful. And at the same time, let me bring up other people's answers so we can all learn together. Okay, so moonshot, let me review this too. So let me share my screen. Okay, so with regard to the prompt, I would look on more like jobs to be done and needs not met, like speedy delivery for urban crowd who had limited time to shop and pick, right? I think who said it? It's very good. Let me call out this person's name. Avini, very good. Okay, so for example, Avini's comment here is very user-centric, right? So he pointed out regarding speedy delivery for like urban crowd who have limited time to shop and pick instead of speedy delivery for rich people. All right, so there's a better way to segment the customer and better way also to describe the pain point, right? Unmet needs. So the second one, someone brought up the moonshot idea will be predicting what the user might want to order on a weekly basis and send it before the user requests for it. This can be perishable product, need a week, whatever, right? So this is another example. You don't need a UI to make it. What if I use AI to predict? There's no UI. You don't need to use an app. Just send it to my home when I need it, right? So that's another very good example. Very good. Some of the audience answers pretty good. Avini, you guys are doing very well. The comment in the chat is pretty good. All right, Avini, good job. I like your comment. So you also said better recommendation based on the history, and thereby gain serving time, trying it back to a common mission and saving time, and easy shopping. Very cool. Nice, nice, very good. Okay, cool. All right, so let me do this. Let me stop sharing. Where's the sharing button? I'm out of sharing button. Where's the sharing? Where's the Zoom? Where's my Zoom? Stop sharing. Awesome. Okay, great. Cool. All right. So everyone who joined us live on YouTube, if you have any other questions, please comment on the chat because we're going to close the live training very quickly. So Catherine, so good luck for your Google interview and you need to do lots of practice. Okay. So I also share with you the free training we had on our YouTube channel. So feel free to directly use those free training. Get ready for your upcoming Google interview, and please make sure to keep me posted, okay? Regarding your pass, we'll move to next round. So email me. I'd like to celebrate with you together, okay?
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for your time.
No problem. Good luck for everything. It's great achievement you having an interview with Google. That's very good already.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
No problem. Very cool.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye. Now let me see. Do you have any other questions on YouTube? And so, very cool to learn from. Thanks for doing this. Great to watch and learn. Very cool. But the intent is there. What do you mean intent is there? You mean extension to my previous other common product that has a better life cycle might be needed monthly. They would deliver monthly before a place an order. Yes, we can do that as well. I really like Avini's answer, actually. Very good. Shows lots of customer empathy. Awesome. Okay, great. So I don't see any other questions on YouTube Live. In that case, I am going to close today's live training. Tomorrow we have another live training, okay? So which we talk about visa issue, and I also know lots of our students, they're facing H-1B, green card, or different kind of visa challenges. I have a speaker where she's going to share with you guys where you're able to create your own visa strategy. And so you can find out more information right here. Let me go to my YouTube channel. So this the free YouTube Live, and at the same time, I believe we also already have 90 different people registered who's going to join me live on Zoom with our speaker. Then you can ask questions live as well. I believe in the description of this upcoming YouTube Live, you are able to directly request a Zoom link. And so directly go to the description of this video and to request us to join us live on Zoom. So you're able to ask questions for speakers as well. Okay. Cool. All right. And also final reminder, feel free to join those free groups, LinkedIn mock interview group, and also the free WeChat group to find your mock interview partners. And I wish all of you guys good luck and be very well prepared for your upcoming interview. Keep me posted if you land any amazing job offers. Okay, great, awesome. Gonna see you next time. This is Dr. Nancy Lee. Have a good night. Bye.